Oops, I didn't realize it started recording. Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is going to be the weekly reading for twin flames and soulmates who are currently in separation or dealing with karmic relationships, whatever it is. This is for the week of March 1st through March 7th. And like with my monthly readings, I'm switching things up a little bit as far as the questions, making new spreads. And what we have here is the overall theme. Oh, first let me say, which I forgot to do the spiel. Keep in mind that the readings are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Also keep in mind that masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender, so whatever side resonates with you, that is your message. And you can switch from one side to the other depending on the energy that you're holding at the time. If you'd like a personal reading, all the information is below. And I have put up, I'm almost done putting up the different signs, so keep an eye out for those. And I'm going to be introducing some other new things just to kind of switch it up for all of you and for me, so we don't get bored with this same spreads, questions, etc. So let's get to this one. What we have is the overall theme, the advice, and the question of if it's true love or, worth pursuing, whatever it is. Here we have what the current feelings, attitudes, or expectations are of the masculine. Same for the feminine. This was actually the card, and these are clarifying it. Here we have what is the connecting factor here, the qualities, the characteristics that bring you together or are needed in order to bring you together. This is what the major obstacle is. This is what interfering factor is going on currently in the masculine's life. That's what they're dealing with that is keeping them from being with you. Same question for the feminine. And advice and advice. So that's the setup. And then, of course, we're going to clarify. Now, the overall theme for the week is the fates. So let us read what the fates say. Essential meanings: fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The oracle message is the serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the serenity prayer. And of course, that talks about, when we're talking about karma and karmic scales being balanced and cycles endings and cycles beginning, sometimes we may feel as though, in these karmic relationships, you're brought together with these people, your soulmates, your twin flame. Twin flame has obviously a higher purpose. But twin flames, soulmate relationships, karmic situations, they're meant to teach you something about yourself. They're meant to bring to surface something within you that is subconscious, that is karma related, meaning you brought in that lesson from a past life due to some past life experience. It has to do with our conditioning, what karma we were given in this life, how we grew up, what love looked like to us as children, how we then interacted with the world, with other people in relationships. And a lot of the times, if you look back on your relationships, you'll see a pattern between the type of people that you chose, the similarities of how the relationship was, even the personality traits, characteristics of the person, how it ended, and how you were present in each one of those things, because we attract what we put out. And if we lack self-love, lack self-respect, don't have boundaries, we're going to, even though we may want love, even though we are good people, there's some wounding there, which is causing us to attract liars, users, cheaters, emotionally unavailable people, abusive people. Something is in there that you keep attracting these people to you because you haven't learned a lesson, which is part of karma that you need to shed. And when you shed it, the universe then considers the scales balanced, even though you don't feel like you got justice, or that the other person, paid for what they did, or whatever it is. The karma is about you. And also, for them, it's about them, their conditioning, their karma, their patterns of relationships, how they, that's their lesson. And some people get the lesson and ascend higher and can reunite, with the person that they went through the experience with. Or somebody doesn't get the lesson, and then you are preparing yourself for someone who's going to come in who's now vibrating at the frequency that you are, because now you've learned a lesson. Now you have self-love, self-respect. So you're going to attract more loving, thoughtful, caring people, that are going to be a match for you. And if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to find yourself in a similar relationship again, repeating the same karma because you haven't learned. Same situation, same type of partner, same circumstances, you're the same, and you're probably not happy, and you're probably wondering why things never work out. It's because of you and something you need to learn about yourself. And that's what these relationships are meant to teach you. So fear not, I should say, if you feel that justice is not appearing in the way where you can feel justified, like in the 3D, because in the spiritual world, it's different. And a lot of times it don't feel like you got justice. It doesn't feel like things worked out in your favor. It doesn't feel like because you didn't get the person that you wanted, or things didn't work out the way you wanted, but they worked out the way they were supposed to. Because again, if it was a karmic relationship, it was meant to teach you something. And if it taught you something and you learned and you grew and you moved forward, then justice was served for you. Because again, this is your life, your journey. You're here for your own lessons. You have your own karma to shed, and these people come into your life as reflections of either repeated cycles or your growth. Again, what we put out, we attract. So it's about understanding that, understanding the higher purpose of all of this, understanding divine timing, understanding that some soulmate relationships aren't life partnerships. If sometimes if something doesn't work out, rejection is God's protection. It's again trying to have a different perspective on what's transpiring in your life, whether it be through relationships, romantic, family, any of that. Again, some things were preordained, some things were fated to happen. And your free will choices after that fated event is what puts you on your path to your destiny, or it'll take you off and it'll keep you treading on the same road of karma until you learn. So it's about knowing that, too, we can't change other people. People have to be wanting to change themselves. You can't heal another person. That, again, has to come from within them. So it's about, again, accepting the things that we cannot change, having the wisdom to know the difference, between what we should continue to put effort into or what we should just accept. This person is what they are. It is what it is, or this person is how they are, or having still compassion and trying to embody forgiveness for yourself, because you didn't know, or you didn't realize, you didn't learn, but now you do. And it's also about forgiveness for the other person, because again, you're looking at things from a spiritual perspective, understanding that they too are here on their journey with their karma to learn their lessons. And it helps to kind of ease the feelings of resentment and anger. And it doesn't mean that you have to allow the person back into your life. You can love them from a distance, but it's about freeing yourself from energies that are keeping you stuck and preventing you from moving into your destiny with this person, without this person, however it plays out. So it's understanding that fate, karma, all this stuff plays a big part in what's going on here. And it says here, the relationship message, other people are who they are. You can't change them. This is just what I said. And we cannot try to make them otherwise to suit ourselves. This is the time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in the relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So it's kind of like I was saying, what the card was saying, even though I didn't know that that's what it was going to say. But again, it's about understanding what this whole thing was about. Again, it was to bring you to attention to yourself. It takes two to tango. Everyone has to hold themselves accountable for their own part, for their own role, for their own growth. And you can't force somebody else to grow. You can't force someone else to see the light. All you can do is adjust your behavior, your engagement, your thoughts, your whatever, because you only have control over yourself. And again, if people can't meet you in your newfound level, then those people are meant to be, I say, left behind. Don't let other people hold you back, keep you stuck, waiting on other people to make a choice and make a decision or hear a phone call or whatever. Move on with your life. So regardless, you're freeing yourself from that constraint. And know that fate, karma, destiny, all of this is playing out in your life right now. Now, I'll do the advice, and if it's true love, afterwards. But let's take a look at, what was the question? Oh, it is the current feelings, attitudes, or expectations of the masculine is the Six of Cups. And then I said, why the Six of Cups? And then we had the Five of Wands in reverse. We had the Ace of Wands. We had the Three of Wands. And then we have the Star. Now, Six of Cups is obviously about, thinking about the past, thinking about someone from the past, wanting to reunite with someone from the past. It's wanting to return to happier memories, happier times, because obviously when things end badly or people stop speaking, you know, if you don't water a garden, nothing grows. So depending on how long this has been kind of dragging out, you know, that's why they say, and you're at a moment here where sometimes it is too little too late. Sometimes you take too long, but everybody has to do stuff in your own time. Again, everybody's situation is different. You could take 5 years and this person might still take you back because the timing is whatever, or they still feel whatever. But this is about, you know, what's important here too is understanding that, again, nothing grows in a garden that isn't watered. You have to put in effort. You have to express your feelings. You have to get the courage within yourself to deal with yourself, your shadow stuff, whatever needs healing, especially if you're wanting to move forward, wanting to reconnect. It's like you're going to have to step up, step into your own, prove to yourself, prove to this other person that you have learned, you have changed, you have grown, and you can nurture this relationship. But staying in one's thoughts, staying quiet, staying in karmic situations, karmic cycles, codependent relationships, again, you're keeping yourself stuck. You're keeping yourself from moving forward, from ascending higher, from reconnecting. You're, you know, because you're letting, the masculine was dealing a lot of, having a lot of fears and worries and, you know, all his childhood wounding, all his stuff playing a part in his not making a move. And I say he, but, you know, it's he, she, whichever. You know, so that they are reflecting on all of this because, again, they know they're needing to make some kind of choice as far as, you know, what they want, what they're going to do. And a lot of it is them having to get out of their own way. Because here we have, you know, they want to come out of conflict because Five of Wands is all about conflict. And, you know, it's about their, you know, feeling tension and strife and just, again, wanting to be committed to this person again, wanting to come out of the conflict, you know, because they know they want to make an offer, you know, of a new beginning, a passionate new beginning. Ace of Wands is fire energy. It's all about passion. You know, it's encouragement to, you know, follow your passions, follow your instincts, your guts, having enthusiasm. It's about, you know, being creativity. It's inspiration. You know, it's a breakthrough or aha moment, feeling inspired, you know, inspired to make, you know, one's dreams a reality. You know, an opportunity that has great promise, but it's up to you, again, to nurture it because, as I said, you don't water a garden, nothing will grow. And the Three of Wands here, it's all about being committed to the future, future planning, future looking, aware of, you know, what challenges might lay ahead, but also what opportunities are there should you face these challenges. It's about expansion. It's about steady progress. It's about doors opening. It's about waiting for one's ships to come in. Now, a lot of masculines are having financial issues, so maybe they're waiting for some money. You know, this is all about, again, a need to embrace change, thinking long term, what they want in the long term. It's having vision and foresight, being bold, taking a leap of faith. You know, it's an evolvement of self to developing, you know, your soul. It's about expansion. And then we have the Star, which is all about wish fulfillment, you know, healing and faith, hope, courage, you know, deeper understanding of oneself, of others. It's about transformation, again, encourage to embrace new opportunities. It's the call of destiny that compels you to move forward and go on. Because again, they may be feeling this pull or this draw to really get out of their current situation and move towards something that's more emotionally fulfilling, something that they know that they want, because they feel like something needs to change. They feel like something, they don't want to miss an opportunity again, because they're thinking about this person from the past, which is, of course, the feminine. Now, the feminine, you know, she's got the Seven of Pentacles in her current feelings, attitudes, or expectations. And then we have the Magician. And then we have the King of Cups reversed. The Two of Cups reversed. And the Nine of Pentacles. So obviously her thoughts and attitudes are, she's thinking she's going to be single. She's, you know, this is all about checks and balances, weighing out things, especially if she hasn't really talked to this person, especially if she's uncertain, because as we've been seeing, people are just unsure what to do. Everybody's still in their thoughts. This one is, you know, really, because they've been getting nothing from this side. You know, they're really trying to say, well, should I even bother to continue planting seeds here, to continue to wait to see? Because like I said, you don't water something, nothing grows. And maybe this person's standing there saying, well, when's somebody going to throw some water in here? When is anything going to change? You know, because they're ready to manifest. You know, they're ready for, they know that they've learned, they've grown, you know, and that they have what it takes to manifest a life that they want, a relationship that they want. You know, that's why they're contemplating, you know, should I bother still considering this situation? Because we have the King of Cups in reverse and the Two of Cups in reverse, you know, and the King of Cups is somebody that is, oof, it could be somebody who's very selfish, narcissistic, very emotionally manipulative. You know, this relationship, they could have been dealing with someone who was behaving in a way, either they were dealing with a true narcissist or somebody who was embodying a lot of those traits because of their own wounding, you know, just behaving in a very selfish manner because they had their own fears about love and opening up and whatever it is. Like, that's how they've gone through stuff. But it's somebody who, you know, could be depressive, moody. You can have drug and alcohol issues. You know, it's a person who embodies a lot of toxic energy because, again, they got some stuff they got to work through. You know, they can be vindictive and vengeful. They punish through emotional manipulation, emotional blackmail in order to push their own agenda, again, as a way to control or to feel like they're still in control, because maybe that's the energy that they were embodying in this relationship. You were always jumping through the hoops and they were like, you know, like the King of Swords, kind of just emotionally detached, or because that was a way for them to control themselves, their feelings, or from really emotionally investing in you because of their own fears of whatever. So they were controlling in that way in the relationship, and they're still kind of being that way because perhaps they're not speaking up, even if they are thinking all of this stuff. You don't know, because they're still using the same old tactics that they did in the relationship, which is keeping you from coming together with this person. Like it says, and this person, depending on what you were dealing with, may or may not change. You know, this is a person, you know, deals with a lot of codependency. And again, they push their own agendas and they leave you feeling uncertain about yourself, as if you're the problem and not them, because again, they lack being able to self-reflect, to realize what needs to change within themselves. And again, if this is someone from the past, then perhaps, you know, you're needing to still work on releasing yourself from their control. Again, if people aren't meeting you, keep it moving. Don't give over your power. You know, you have the magician here. You're ready to manifest something better for yourself. And the Two of Cups in reverse, you know, it's about breakups, imbalances in relationships, lack of harmony, struggling to form new relationships, new partnerships. Maybe you've been trying and you haven't been able to get anywhere because this person is still, you know, upside down, still behaving in the same old ways, being aloof, being emotionally manipulative in a way to, again, to keep you jumping through the hoops. So again, because it feeds their own wounding, it feeds their own ego, whatever the situation is here. You know, there's also a lack of trust. You know, Two of Cups reverse is a lack of trust or unfinished business in the past. You know, or a reluctancy to open up because you don't trust this person. Again, that's why you're doing your checks and balances here. If you should continue to invest, you know, it's about being guarded and constrained. It's a lack of harmony, again, with this person. Trouble being honest with each other. You know, broken communication. Again, people might not be talking. Lack of mutual respect and understanding. You know, it's not an equal give and take. You know, it's out of balance. You know, the partner may think that he or she is better than you or their opinion matters more. You know, that's, again, somebody who's just trying to control. But the thing with that is that when you try to do that, you really jeopardize losing somebody because people get tired of being jerked around. People get tired of mind games. People get tired of being taken for granted and not appreciated and feeling unloved. And this is why the feminine is thinking about, you know, maybe I just need to be single. I need to just focus on me. I need to, you know, focus on my goals. It's having a sense of peace, you know, wanting to return to a sense of peace. It's knowing that, you know, if she works towards something else that's going to, she'll be able to get rewards from that, you know, her career or whatever it is. She's thinking about, I need to just focus on myself. You know, because she is feeling more confident and more independent and free, you know, although she's still thinking about this situation. But, you know, that's human behavior. It's being nostalgic, you know, wishing things could have whatever. But she knows, she's got the Nine of Pentacles. The sound cut out. And let me tell you, there was almost a half an hour left. So I said a lot, and it was good, and I'm annoyed. I said I've been putting it off for so long, I need a new camera because there's something wrong with the software, and a lot of people complain about it. So I need to invest, and I will invest because it interrupts the flow. It says, and then I don't remember what I said, and a lot of messages, you know, I channel at the moment, and so it's frustrating for me, as well as I'm sure it's frustrating for you. Well, maybe not so much because you get right where I left off, but it's frustrating for me. But anyways, the Nine of Pentacles, it says she knows that she can stand on her own. You know, she's coming to her own through this experience. Again, she has the Magician here. She has all the tools she needs. Again, she has the knowledge, the wisdom, the growth to have the kind of relationships that are mutually beneficial, that are emotionally fulfilling, and that she can be with someone who's, again, going to put in effort and put in work towards her, towards this relationship. So with the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles mirroring each other here, and these two things in the middle, in the reverse, again, she's ready. She's ready for better things. Now, I hope I am not repeating myself here, but the connection, the qualities, the characteristics that bring you together or that are needed in order to bring you together is, in order to have success, We have to be willing to learn from our mistakes, again, holding ourselves accountable, realizing our roles, becoming truthful, honest, people of integrity, you know, and embodying forgiveness in the situation, forgiving ourselves because, now we know better, or being willing to also try to forgive the other person because now we see things from a spiritual perspective. It allows us to be a little bit more detached because we're, again, looking at the experience from a higher perspective, knowing that it's all about karma, lessons, fate, destiny, free will choices, childhood woundings, whatever it is. It's about freeing up that energy that is keeping you both stuck. Being willing to put aside our pride, speak truths, again, hold ourselves accountable, voice what we've learned from our mistakes, especially if you want a reconciliation, especially if you want another chance. It's like you got to put in that effort to make that happen. And what is the interfering factor in regards to, this being able to come together? For the masculine is because he lacks the strength and courage to embrace change, to speak a truth, to become vulnerable, because we have love here as well, to going towards the person that he wants to be with, which is, the person from the past, and about being courageous again to embark on new journeys, to leave behind old ways of being, current karmic relationships, codependent relationships, embracing the unknown. He's lacking the strength and the courage to deal with himself and his current situation, to become someone new, or to try to be viewed as someone new. And in order to do that, you're going to have to, again, present yourself not as the King of Cups upside down, not using, emotional manipulation or tactics that you did in the past to remain in control, to protect yourself from fears of being alone, so you don't want to leave one situation until you know for sure you can get into something else, or the fear of again, stepping into your own, because that requires self-reflection, that requires inner work, that requires out of work, to, internal and external, putting in efforts, facing things that we might not want to face in order to move towards what we truly want. Again, it's about getting out of our own way. And it's a battle here. And then home life, we have home and battle. So again, the battle is, within himself, to again be willing to grow up, to change, to deal with their current home life situation, and leave that if that's necessary, or, be able to reconcile this home situation. But it's a lack of courage. It's a lack of self-love, because when you deny yourself things that are for your highest and best, you're showing yourself a lack of self-love, which is probably how you've engaged in relationships before. If you look back on the pattern, look back at the types of partners that you chose, look back on how you were in those relationships, how they ended, what the issues were, you'll most likely see a pattern of the same things happening over and over and over and over, just with different people. Because the lesson is for you to learn about you, about your behavior, your thinking, your conditioning, your karma. And that's when the karmic scales will be balanced for you. They're already balanced for the feminine, because she has learned, she has grown, and she's embodying that energy. You are just getting into that. But your biggest hurdle, your biggest battle is with yourself in regards to having the inner strength, having the courage to do what it is that you know you need to do. Because otherwise you're going to remain unfulfilled, unhappy, and you're going to remain on the wrong path. You're going to miss an opportunity. You know, again, it's free will choice. Now, what is the interfering factor for the feminine is friend, diligence, change, solitude, and then surprise. So this is, again, diligence. It's kind of like the Seven of Pentacles. You know, even though you may consider this person the love of your life, your best friend, you know, that's like the Six of Cups here. It's about, you know, someone that you're very close to, you have a strong bond with, you know, but uncertain if things can change, if this person can change, if the situation can change, if you should still be putting in more effort, or if it's a waste of time. You're in solitude, you're alone. Again, like the Nine of Pentacles, you're it's like the hermit, you're in reflective mode. You're going within, weighing everything out. And it's also here surprise. It's like waiting for someone to speak up, waiting for someone to deliver this message that, yeah, I feel this way about you, or yeah, this is what I learned, this is what I'm willing to do, this is the efforts I'm willing to put in. Like she's waiting to hear from this side. So her interfering factor is, again, it's dependent on this person either speaking up, putting in effort, being willing to change, being willing to self-reflect and showing that through a message. Or again, this is the feminine wondering if she should bother. But it's, you know, with these two in reverse, it's no wonder why she's feeling kind of like cutting her losses. Because again, people get tired of waiting. People get tired of mind games. People get tired of being manipulated or you know, feel like they're wasting their time. You know, that's not how two mature adults interact with one another. That's not what healthy people do in relationships. You know, you talk. You hold yourself accountable. You respect yourself and the other person. You know, you have compassion for someone else. You have empathy for how your actions, words, or whatever it was may have affected someone else. It's like showing that you care, showing that you understand, showing that you've learned. You know, so this is kind of, she's still waiting for that, waiting to see that. And but this person isn't doing it because, again, they're lacking the courage, they're lacking the strength, they're lacking the self-love, they're lacking their, you know, getting out of, they're not able to get out of their own fears and insecurities. And so they're just taking things very slow. But again, that can backfire. Depending on how slow you're taking, it can backfire. You know, so the lesson here is to just get out of your own way for everybody. And what is the major obstacle between the two of them? It's a lack of hope. I trust that God has a wonderful solution and brilliant plans in store for me. It's not having faith, not having hope, not expressing love. Love is the answer to all my questions. Not again, showing ourselves self-love by being willing to embrace change, being willing to self-reflect, being willing to become like, I'm going to say humble, but you're going to have to kind of humble yourself. Get over yourself. Stop trying to control a situation because it's backfiring on you and always will. You know, so it's a lack of hope, a lack of showing of love. It's ignoring the signs that you've been getting. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. And then it's about, again, compassion. Having compassion, again, for yourself. Showing yourself self-love. Getting yourself out of karmic cycles and things that no longer serve you. And old behavior patterns due to wounding and stuff. And it's being able, again, to self-reflect and heal oneself. So that you can be happy. So that you can wipe your karma. So you can then move on to bigger and better things. You know, and again, about seeing others' point of view. Have compassion. Know that people, again, get tired of mind games, stalling tactics, control tactics, manipulation, abusive words, actions, whatever, lies, deception. You know, again, it's about releasing your own ego and need to control something to protect yourself at the expense of hurting someone else. It's about, you know, having, again, integrity and doing the right thing for yourself and for everybody involved. And the advice for the masculine is codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Again, addictions to our own conditioning, karma, childhood wounds, fears of everything. All the things that are holding you back. You could be drowning your sorrows in drugs and alcohol, or, you know, trying to escape. You know, this is about you keeping yourself stuck in whatever form that is manifesting in. You know, staying, again, in codependent relationships, ones that fill voids and meet needs, but don't allow you to expand and grow, that just enable you in your karma and keep you comfortable, though unhappy, because it's a sense of some security. Again, because voids are being filled and needs are being met, but it's in an unhealthy way. And it's in a way where it's hurting you in the long run. And you need to address that, because it's telling you, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. It's time to wake up from the slumber. It's time to see ourselves for who we are, or who we've been, and who we want to become. And again, that all begins within, and with change, and with action, and with commitment to oneself, to one's journey, to one's growth. You know, again, you got some stuff to release here that's holding you back, but they're telling you to stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. You know, you got to have hope. You got to think positive. Can't be in the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Can't be in your woes. Can't be in your regrets. Can't be in your fears. It's time to take action. Use that wand's energy to move you onto your path. Think long term, not temporary. What's in the moment? What's providing me this in the moment, but I'm not really happy. I know I need to change. I know I need to make a move. I know I need to act if I don't want to lose this person from the past, if I want there to be healing, if I want my hopes and dreams and wishes of love and a home life with this person, I'm going to have to check myself, you know. But they're saying, but do it in a way where you're still being, you know, switch the energy to being positive and optimistic, and take action and help bridge the gap in this separation. Time apart from your partners on the horizon. And then we also had free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. That's what they're telling you. Pay attention to the red flags. You got some codependency problems. This is part of your karma. This is what needs to be healed. You need to free yourself from anything, again, that's holding you back. Karmic relationships or your own behavior patterns. And you might need to separate and free yourself from this codependent relationship you're in, and stay optimistic about reuniting with this person, or in your love life in general, and try to be present because you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Again, not being in the past, not being in the future. And if you have romantic feelings, if you love this person, you know, they're real and worth exploring. So make your move. Don't stay stagnant. Don't let your fears, again, hold you prisoner, or your own ego, because it backfires. If you're going to stay in the King of Cups in reverse kind of energy, nothing will ever change for you. You'll never have true love and happiness, true growth, because you're holding on to negative energy, negative behavior patterns that need to be changed for you to open your heart, to be open to giving and receiving love from an authentic place, because you have healed. You're not entering into relationships, again, to have voids filled and needs met. You're doing it for the right reasons, because you love the person and you want to build with them. You want to be an equal contributor to the relationship, emotionally and otherwise. And again, it's about stepping into one's own. So pay attention. And the advice for the feminine is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And then let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Now, this card has come out on the feminine side, on the masculine side, and in the middle. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of codependency issues, a lot of money issues, people afraid of being perceived as just, you know, someone who's coming around to, again, reap the benefits, be codependent still. So they're afraid to say how they feel because they've waited so long, or because the other person knows that they're probably in another codependent situation, so they don't trust the person. You know, they just, you know, so this might be telling you that if this person comes around and they show you genuine growth and they back that up with not just words but actual actions and consistency, don't be afraid to follow your heart, follow your passions, and be willing for both of you to kind of help each other as you're on the beginning legs of your new journey. You know, stuff doesn't happen overnight. So it's about being willing to, again, work with each other. Or this is about you embracing your independence, expanding your circle of people, possibly so that you can meet someone new. You know, let your friends help you, support you through this time, introduce you to new people. And then we also have, you deserve love. You are lovable because you are. You both are. And then we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So again, we got forgiveness here because, again, it's about releasing yourself from that energy, not just the other person. And that way, you open the door to receive something that is good and better and real and genuine. And then we have children. Your love life is being affected by children. Now, you could have children together, or this could symbolize, you know, our own inner child, the childhood wounding, the fears of rejection, of being abandoned, of whatever is your wounding. And then we have, but it also, like I said, symbolizes new beginnings. And then we have playfulness to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And then new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this is either, again, you cutting your losses, depending on who you were dealing with. If they're not showing you whatever, it's about you being present, being passionate about your life, manifesting things for yourself, working on yourself, hanging out with your friends, you know, forgiving and learning so you can free up that energy because you deserve love. You know, become lighthearted and playful, and you can attract new love. Or this is, you know, with this person, if they, again, show you that. They've changed, they've grown, they want to work on themselves, the partnership. And is that it? Oh, and the advice for you both is compromise. You know, compromise doesn't mean, you know, take back the King of Cups in reverse just because they're your soulmate or your twin flame. You know, it's not about compromising your self-respect, your self-values, your integrity, your standards, your values. It's not about that. But again, it could be being willing to compromise in regards to learning from the mistakes, you know, forgiving and learning, being open to a new beginning again if this person is showing you genuine effort, to not let your fears or your whatever keep you from, you know, giving this another chance. But it's also about compromising within ourselves, you know, being willing to, again, become humble, speak our truths without fears of how we'll be looked at. You know, it's about compromising your own ego. Stop allowing that to keep you stuck. Because it says here too, in order to create a happy outcome for this situation, you will find it necessary to compromise. Allow yourself some time to become clear about what is truly important to you. Yeah, again, it's like, is it important for me to still try to be controlling just so I can have the upper hand? Or am I going to have to like get out of my own way and get out of my own ego and actually open my heart and become vulnerable and let go of my fears and whatever else, and be willing to compromise in that way? Also take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Work towards an agreement where everyone wins. Be open to cooperation that would allow you to get what you need while also assisting others in fulfilling their desires. Be objective about finding a balance between respecting everyone else's viewpoints and still being true to your own. And I asked, is this true love, or is this, you know, worth working on? And we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual types and expectations. Now, that could be in this situation, they want you to keep an open mind. You know, because people might be embracing change or being willing to change or being willing to put in the work, so they are becoming like a new person. So to keep an open mind, and be willing to kind of give them a chance to prove that they've changed, you know. Or if this is about releasing a situation and moving on to something else, just keep an open mind, you know, about whoever's coming in next, because they may be different than what your usual type is. But if we've looked on our past, and if we were entering into karmic relationships over and over, you should be glad that the next person come in is not your usual type, because your usual type obviously was a type you were attracting because you were operating at a lower vibration, because you still had some stuff you had to work out within yourself. But all in all, they're wanting you to watch for the signs, keep hope in this situation, be willing to forgive, learn from your mistakes, understand that fate, karma, destiny, free will choices is all playing a part here. We can only control ourselves. We can't control other people. And if other people are trying to control you, you need to leave them alone. Let them play those games with someone else. You know, but stay optimistic. Focus on yourself, what you need to heal in yourself, so that when you are then preparing yourself for better relationships. And I think that that's it. So on that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. And until next time, take care.